gave me something today. I have to work on me. I have to work on me. But I'm not lost anymore.
We came from roaches on the floor, a notice on the door, baking soda in the jar, but now we focus on the law. It's like soap up in a cloth, the way it's soaking and it wash. It's something like good dope, cause it's potent and it's raw.
I used to post up out the store, work stashed behind the door. Everything I had was pure, so fiends was coming back for more. The Most High opened my eyes, and then I seen that I was flawed. Now I'm addicted to these laws because they potent and they raw. I was in and out of jail, cause in the streets, yeah, I was lost. Trying to be like all the hustlers, they don't tell you it's a cause.
We had an Edomite in disguise trying to say his dad's Negroid, asking for prayer because his mother died, right? Now, how would we look praying for Lucifer's children, right? How would we look praying for Lucifer's children? The same people who did this right here. That's why I had this sign made. It says, "What is white supremacy?" This goes from the 1960s, the 1600s rather, all the way until now, about how they've continued to victimize us, they continue to enslave us, and create practices covertly that keep us down, that keeps us obstructed, that keeps us disinvested into their neighborhoods, and keep us from growing as a nation, right? Why would we pray for you? Why would we do that, right? Because hold this, you guys. Give me Isaiah chapter 14, verse 4. Let's make a point. Hold that, you give me Revelation 11, verse 8.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
This proverb is the king of Babylon, right?
And say, how hath the oppressor seized? The golden city seized.
Yeah, that golden city.
The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers.
The scepter of the rulers, right? Because Babylon was chief of the world at one point. Just like that's the ancient Babylon, and this new Babylon, America, is covertly the chief of the world.
Right.
We see history repeating itself. Give me Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. Everything that's happened before is happening again. Who dismantled and destroyed the Babylonians? The Medes. Who occupied the same land? Russia. Who's conveniently at war with America, which is that new Babylon, which we're going to prove in a second? Russia. What we see is history repeating itself. Go ahead.
Right. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
There's no new thing under the sun. We see history straight repeating itself. We are in this new Babylon. You read Revelations, right? Read the book of Revelation. You consistently see it talk about this golden city. You see it talk about Babylon the Great, this mystery Babylon the Great, right? And that's going to be the last ruling power before salvation comes. Who is the people heading up this place? Right? Let's figure it out. Let's see where this actual Babylon is. Read this. Revelation 11 and 8.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
That great city, the same terminology as that golden city, which you also see in various parts of Revelation, Revelation 17, Revelation 18, multiple verses in Revelation. Go ahead.
Which is spiritually is called Sodom.
Sodom, where is homosexuality extolled? America.
Right.
America will withhold funds from you and withhold help from you using the United Nations, right? If you come against homosexuality. If your nation doesn't agree with it, they'll create sanctions and make it harder for you to exist as a nation if you don't fold to their demands.
Right.
That's that fornication. Hold that, right? Give me Revelation 18 about that fornication. No, it's 17. It's 17. Committed fornication with the nations, the kings and rulers. That's what that fornication is. It should be the gold.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 2. With whom the kings of earth have committed fornication, and inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Now we see biblically in multiple places in the Bible how being drunk can also mean as far as doctrine, as far as belief system, as far as what you follow, right? That fornication is what America is. That image of the beast, that image of Babylon, that white supremacy.
Right.
You're gonna bow down to how we believe, and if you don't like it, we'll either defund you, we'll send people to go inside your nations and destabilize it, right? We'll set up sanctions, or hell, we'll go to war with you. You're not down with democracy, we'll go to war with you.
Right.
Right? If you're not down with homosexuality, we won't give you funds. If you don't go with how we want to do, if you don't go with how we want you to run your nation, we'll send insurgents in there and make a shadow government and run it from the backgrounds. We've seen that, right? Even there's plenty of countless websites that give you straight evidence of people saying that verbatim. That's that fornication. Y'all gonna get down when we get down on, right? So let's go back into identifying who Babylon the Great is.
Which spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
You know, Sodom in Egypt, right? Sodom, we already talked about Sodom homosexuality in Egypt. If you just look at America, just the way they build things and the way it's operated, right? You look at the dollar. What's on the dollar? Because that's the lifeblood. That's the lifeblood of America.
Right.
Commerce. What's on the dollar? A pyramid.
Right.
What's at the Capitol? An obelisk. That's a chief statue in Egyptian culture. This place is Sodom. This place is Egypt. And what also happened to the Jews and really the whole nation of Israel in Egypt? Captivity.
Right.
What happened when we got here in the 1600s? Captivity. And ever since then, we've continued to be in captivity, man. Hey, brother, you believe in God? Okay, let me have a conversation with you real quick. Just real quick. Why do Christians never have time to have a conversation about God? Why is your affinity to God only for one? Or what do you say? Brother, you're not a Christian, actually. You're really a pretender.
Right.
Why is your affinity to God only exist for 1 hour to 2 hours on Sunday? In any other facet, God just pushed it aside. Even in that 1 to 2 hours, well, we're the black church, man. You go to black church, you be in there all day, right? Why is your affinity to God only wrapped up in 1 day? Because you actually aren't about God.
That's right, man.
You're not. You're not about God. What teaches you that? This right here. That's an idol, which is also part of Egyptian culture. Because they got us to bow down to their idols. That's what they do. That's what these nations continue to do and to perpetuate in this place. But going back to my original point, Revelation 11 verse 8 shows you who this spiritual Babylon is. This is spiritual Sodom, this spiritual Egypt. That's America the Great. No other place on the earth, no entity on the earth fits that better than America the Great. And nowhere, right? Now, who's chief over this? Lucifer.
Right.
Who is Lucifer? The light bearer. Who is the light bearer? The king of Babylon. The king of Babylon is Caucasians.
Right.
Y'all are descendants of Lucifer's children.
That's right.
So why would we sit here and pray for Lucifer's children? Y'all been shaking the nations, like it says in Isaiah 14, forever. You've been shaking up our nation, right, for centuries. Why would we then pray for you? Give me John chapter 9, verse 31.
God, this is the song of the three holy children. Verse 7. In all things have we trespassed, and not obeyed thy commandments, nor kept them, neither done as thou hast commanded us, that it might go well with us.
And that's why captivity has reigned over us forever. We transgressed all the Lord's laws, and that's why Babylon the Great, that's why all the other nations, all the 4 beasts and all the 10 horns and all the 7 heads get to continue to reign over us. Go ahead.
Chapter 9. Verse 9. And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies.
And to who?
Into the hands of lawless enemies.
The Lord delivered us into the hands of lawless enemies. That's the Edomites. That's Lucy's children. That's Lucifer's children. Really, that's really what it is. They're the hands of lawless people. The whole way they establish their nationality is off lawlessness.
Right.
Running around raping and robbing people, stealing people's wives, right? Continue to force pork on everybody, force Christianity on everybody, do all these things on everybody, right? And just so in 2023 you can walk around clueless in front of a camera, right? God damn, bro. Everything y'all do is built off of lawlessness. So you want me to pray for a woman who is a lawless person. Lawless means a sinner.
This is the book of John, chapter 9, verse 31. For we knoweth that God heareth not sinners.
So God hears not sinners. So if God doesn't hear sinners, you think he's going to hear a prayer over somebody who's a sinner? No, he's not hearing that. Why would he? He already laid out how he operates. He only lays out who he hears. And you see that in Proverbs, right? You know what that said in Proverbs, where it says that those who turn their ear from the law, their prayers should be abomination. Like that's something that predates the New Testament. The Lord already told us how he works.
Right.
The Lord already told us whose prayer he's going to hear, whose prayer he isn't going to hear.
Right.
And if you are a sinner, you are a lawless person, especially a Edomite, somebody who give me Zechariah. We're going to come back to that. Give me Zechariah chapter 1 verse 14. The same people who push forward the affliction of his people, you believe he's now about to hear their prayers? You think he's now about to hear a prayer he wanted a prayer so he can feel better in his kingdom? No, we're not. I'll tell you what we're not going to do, and it's that.
This is a book of Zechariah, chapter 1, verse 14. So the angel that communed with me said unto me, Cry thou, saying, Thus said Yahweh of hosts, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy. And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease.
So the Lord is displeased with these people. The Lord is very displeased with the Edomites, to the point to where he had a whole prophet dedicated to their destruction.
Right.
So you think he's gonna hear a prayer to help one of them people? Hell no, that's not happening, bro.
It says, For I was
like the whole book. Like it's crazy.
I ain't never think of it like that.
You gotta really think about it. Y'all, people who say, like even Hebrew Israelite Christians will say they can be saved, they can have faith and come into it. The Lord has a whole book dedicated to their specific destruction. Mad. You were mad.
Khan, it says, For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction.
They helped do what?
Helped forward the affliction.
And how did they forward the affliction? Give me Isaiah 42, verse 22. How did the so-called white man forward the affliction? So this, I can't wait till I come up with the breakdown for this sign. How did the white man forward the affliction? Chattel slavery. Everybody knows about that. Hold on, we gonna get this out. God, right? How did the white man forward affliction? Chattel slavery, right? 1619. Really before that, but let's just start at 1619 because this is a Judite-based sign, right? How did the Lord be displeased with them? Chattel slavery. What happened after that? The 13th Amendment happened after that. And guess what followed that? The Black Codes. The Black Codes was a set of laws, right? One of them laws being vagrancy laws. If they see you without a job, if they see you just chilling or something, right? You go back into captivity. They put taxes specifically on black people that were high to the point to where it's like there's no possible way you can afford to pay this. If you can't pay it, if the man, let's guess what? If the man can't pay it, y'all can walk through, right? Oh no, I'm advertising y'all's destruction. That's what I'm advertising, right? That's what I'm doing. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Matter of fact, show them the sign. Show them the sign. That's what I'm advertising, right? And guess what? Guess what? You're going into captivity.
That's right.
You're going into captivity. Matati, get that on camera. Get the sign on camera. That's what I'm advertising. Because of this, right? Because of this sign, because of white supremacy, you're gonna get this. This is what you're gonna get, right? Now back to what I was saying, right? They had vagrancy. What's up, bro? Hey, bro, you believe in God? Hey, bro, let me have a conversation with you real quick. You can't, you don't want to talk about God, do you? You say you got allegiance to him, but you don't show it. That's crazy. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, right? But back to what I was saying, they have vagrancy laws. They catch you just chilling. They catch you without a job. You have to go back into captivity. They put fines on you. And guess what? Guess what? They were discriminating on jobs. They said, oh, you're a black person, I'm not about to give you a job.
Right.
But then if I don't have it, that's gonna sound like probation. Don't that sound like probation? That sounds exactly like probation. They said, we're not gonna give you a job. Then on top of that, they put fines on you. These specific fines, right, for being black were ridiculously high. If the man can't afford to pay that, him, his children, and his wife have to go back into the fields and do the same thing they supposedly got freed from. That's a trap. That's a trap, man. What's going on over here? What you got going on?
Oh, I just came to listen. What were you saying?
What was I saying about what?
Everything.
Well, I was talking about white supremacy, and I was talking about there's gonna be a payment for white supremacy. So what's your nationality?
Oh, I didn't come to dialogue. I just came to listen.
I mean, I came out here to dialogue.
Oh, feel free to dialogue with someone else. I'm just here to listen.
So, I mean, you can't just answer that specific question?
No.
Why not?
I just came to listen to what you're teaching. You're teaching.
Okay, right. I'm
Feel
teaching.
free to teach.
I'm teaching eventually.
Because they all know what you
What's
came
up?
to teach, but I don't. So I'm just here to listen. That's all.
Well, how are you gonna know what how are you gonna understand what I'm teaching if you don't want to dialogue?
I don't have to dialogue to listen to you talk.
Okay, that's a matter of fact. That's fine. I'll continue my point, right?
Yeah, there you go.
So let's do this, right? I talked about the vagrancy laws and the black codes. I talked about the taxes on the black codes, and simultaneously at the same time, they had the rise of the KKK. The rise of the KKK happened at that time to catch people in sundown towns, to catch people at nighttime, right? All these things amalgamated into what? A trap. Give me this in Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22.
This is Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 22.
And at the same time, I'll pause you right here. At the same time, you have people getting thrown into prison for the vagrancy laws and the taxes and work in the fields. Simultaneously giving you an idea of that movie Life. Remember that movie Life?
Oh, yeah,
That sounds like this. That sounds exactly like that. Now go ahead and read this.
Isaiah 42 and 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Robbed and spoiled. Because starting back at chattel slavery, they robbed us of wages. They robbed us of our own sovereignty. They robbed us of our culture, right? We are people robbed and spoiled. And the reason why you know this is talking about us right now, because robbed means past tense. That Hebrew word right there is a past tense of robbed, right? Spoiled means you're right now currently still being stole from. That's happening right now. Keep going.
They are all of them snared in holes.
Snared in holes. What is that? A snare is a trap. That's something you use to catch an animal. That sounds just like the black codes.
And they are hid in prison houses.
They're what?
Hid in prison houses.
That's something that will happen as a result if you can't pay these fines as part of the black codes. Go ahead.
They are for a prey.
For what?
They are for a prey.
For a prey. Simultaneously, the rise of the KKK. You see that? We never even go into it like this. We look at the history. We fit this way better right now.
Right.
Go ahead.
They are for a prey and none delivered.
And none what?
And none delivered.
Nobody was delivering us from that. Because they always want to talk about, you go in high school, they want to talk about the so-called good white people that try to help us out of our captivity. All three of them, right? They have some sort of white guilt, right? They never restored us. They didn't care. They really didn't care about restoring us. They probably was cool with this. They probably was a descendant of a slave master, got cool with the slaves, right? And he's like, you know what? We shouldn't be doing all this, doing that. But none of them actually saved us. none of them. You got a precept? Go ahead.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 18.
Get out.
They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets.
That's on the sign too.
Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven.
Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. What's also the image of America?
The eagle.
The eagle.
The eagle.
I digress, right? That's funny. You got jokes, right? I digress. But what's the image of America? The eagle, right?
Where does the image of the eagle come from?
I thought you didn't want a dialogue.
Oh, I was just asking a question.
That's a dialogue.
I can remain quiet if that's what you mean.
I mean, I said pick one, right? But where does the image of the eagle come from?
Yeah.
That's something they chose. The people
I'm
who
just saying,
established
where
America.
does that philosophy that America is equivalent to the eagle, where does that come from?
What I'm saying is that's the image that America chooses to represent it.
How do you know that?
Because you look at all of their images. Let's do this. Are you serious or are you joking?
No, I'm dead serious.
I mean,
I just wonder, like, I know, for instance, Russia is like the bear, right? I was just saying, I believe Russia is like the bear, and then there's other countries that have different animals, but I'm just wondering if you know where the eagle and the American representation of the eagle comes from.
United States.
Yeah.
What you want me to read?
If you go to the get that.
All right, this is a source right here. The founding fathers made an appropriate choice when they selected the bald eagle as the emblem of the nation. The fierce beauty and proud independence of the great bird aptly symbolizes the strength and freedom of America.
What's the source on that?
www.va.gov.
That's a government website. Yes. So and it's really appropriate too, because when you go into the word, there's like the Latin words. You know, they have Latin words for the names of animals. For eagle, it means like a seasoned Gentile, and Gentile means nation. So it's aptly and appropriately chosen for the eagle, because what does America do? They seize people. And when have they seized people? Chattel slavery. So it's aptly chosen. Do you have another question? Okay, then. I'm going to keep on going.
Bring it out, all right? Teach, all right?
Give me, were you on something?
I was still in Lamentations, but...
Have you got something else?
No, it was, okay, well, we can keep going. Okay, they pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. So they laid wait for us in our wilderness when we was in the different parts of west coast of Africa, our wilderness, when we fled from Jerusalem. They laid wait and came and got us from there and brought us over here. So it no matter what we do, we couldn't get away from them because it was all the will of the Heavenly Father.
And also, right, the origins of the police was the slave catchers. They waited in the border towns between plantations to catch slaves and return them back to their original slave masters, right? And guess what? You go look at their badges, you look at the way they carry themselves, you look at their imagery. It's the same thing as the police, the modern police. And also, you can even go back and look at different sources. They even say it's like the precursor to the police, right? So that's not even just, oh, you just making that up. You can just Google that. Anybody can see that, right? So the scriptures is what you got.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
That's also why they shoot us, right? They'll say, oh, well, he's a criminal. Oh, he did that, right? They say, oh, just like old dude that got choked out for selling Lucy's.
Oh, yeah. In New York.
Yeah.
No, I was just telling you something.
Yeah.
Eric Garner.
Yeah, Eric Garner. Like,
What's up, y'all? You got the shiesty mask on.
our brother who got killed, right? Our brother who got killed for selling loosies. Oh, see, he's a criminal. You're not supposed to be doing that. So selling a loose cigarette is equivalent to the judgment of getting killed. It's equivalent to oh, I can get murdered behind that. Even y'all's justice system doesn't even reflect that. Give me Habakkuk chapter 1. Start at verse 3. Because we're going to talk about Babylon some more.
The book of Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 3. Why doest thou shew me iniquity? It's like in verse 2. O Lord, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save.
So cry unto thee unto violence, and thou wilt not save. Just like how we were crying to the Lord throughout all of this. We were crying to the Lord when we was in chattel slavery. We was crying to the Lord in black codes, freaking Jim Crow. Because like, think about this, man. I cannot wait to make my lesson all the way about this sign that I made. During Jim Crow era, it's even reflected in history, right? Well, they'll say white men under mild inconveniences, like say like they had a bad day, they will literally don hoods and go rob and murder from a community. They'll pick any black community they don't like, right, and literally go just take it down, burn and kill everybody. And then take the mask off and say, oh yeah, all right, Cody, we had a good day today, right? Go to bed. That's what they used to do. That's crazy. That's not even that long ago. Let's look at, what's the time period on that? That's 1865 to 1965. And they didn't even stop doing that, to be honest, because somebody just got strung up a few years ago. Yeah, for sure. It's never stopped.
Basically, going into us lifting up a cry, the Lord wasn't really hearing us at that time because we had to get our punishment. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11, verse 14. Therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. So we did the iniquity, so now we got to take the judgment. So the Lord wasn't with us crying. He wasn't hearing that then. We deserved it. You know, they tell you that in Daniel 9 and 4, we deserve what we got.
So is he hearing us now?
Matter of fact, my next precept was going to prove that. Give me Hosea chapter 5, verse 15.
What? I'm just asking a question.
I'm answering your question with the Bible verse that I was about to.
No, I'm just asking in concept. Is he hearing us now?
Certain of us.
Certain of us.
Give me John chapter 9, verse 31 again. 5 and 15.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 5, verse 15. I will go and return to my place.
So the Lord said he'll go and return to his place and do what?
Till they acknowledge their offense.
Our offense is us sinning, us breaking the laws of God.
And seek my face in their affliction. They will seek me early.
So in our affliction, when we're going through these curses, when we're going through white supremacy and all the things we've been through in annals of time, the Lord has turned his back on us until we acknowledge our offense. Our offense is breaking the laws of God. Give me this.
This is the book of John, chapter 9 and verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners.
So those prayers we was doing, the Lord wasn't hearing because we were in transgression. We're following what the slave master gave. Give me Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9. Verse 4.
What is the rest of that scripture?
I'm going to get it. We're coming right back to it, right? I was just telling them to get that because this is going to support it. 17 verse 4.
It says, John 9 and 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners.
God heareth not sinners.
But if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth.
So God doesn't hear sinners. When we're in transgression, I'm not gonna hold this. When we're in transgression of God's laws, when we're not keeping his law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, God's not hearing our prayers. But the people's prayers who he does hear is those who worship him and doeth his will.